Here are 10 cars you'd never guess shared engines. Number 1, McLaren MP4 12C and Nissan Patrol. When McLaren returned to building road cars with the MP4 12C in 2011, they needed a proven V8 foundation for their twin-turbo masterpiece. Surprisingly, they turned to Nissan's VRH engine architecture, the same basic V8 that powered the rugged patrol SUV trudging through Middle Eastern deserts and Australian outback. McLaren worked with Ricardo to completely reimagine this truck engine, crafting their M838T 3.8-liter twin-turbo V8 that produced 616 horsepower. The fundamental block architecture remained, but everything else, internals, turbocharging, engine management, was pure McLaren magic. Number 2, Nissan 350Z and Renault Grand Espace Minivan. When the 350Z burst onto the scene in 2002, sports car enthusiasts worldwide lost their minds. Finally, a proper two-door, two-seater with a powerful V6 up front and rear-wheel drive out back. The VQ35DE engine became legendary, delivering 290 horsepower and that intoxicating exhaust note that made every tunnel an opportunity for acoustic excellence. But here's the plot twist. Through corporate partnerships and cost-sharing magic, this exact same engine found its way into something completely different. The Renault Grand Espace Minivan. From 2006 to 2010, French families could haul their kids around in a people carrier powered by the same motor that made the 350Z such a sensation. Renault detuned it slightly to 245 horsepower, but this forgotten French-Japanese hybrid could still hit 140 miles per hour, making it possibly the world's fastest school-run vehicle. Number 3, Lotus Evora and Toyota Camry. Lotus has always been about doing more with less, focusing their genius on lightweight chassis construction rather than building their own engines. The Evora continues this tradition beautifully, using Toyota's bulletproof 3.5-liter V6 known as the 2GRFE. In naturally aspirated form, this motor produces 276 horsepower, while the supercharged version cranks out over 400 horsepower of pure screaming fury. This same engine powers your neighbor's Toyota Camry sedan, the family Sienna minivan shuttling kids to soccer practice, and the Lexus RX 350 SUV parked at the country club. The supercharged version adds some exclusivity, but fundamentally, this lightweight British sports car shares its DNA with some of the most mundane vehicles on American roads. Next time you're following a Sienna on the school run, just imagine that same power plant wrapped in Lotus's exquisite engineering. It's enough to make grocery runs feel like track days. Number 4, Koenigsegg CC8S and Ford F150. The Koenigsegg CC8S was the Swedish hypercar manufacturer's first proper production model back in 2002, and what a statement it made. With just 6 examples ever built, this carbon fiber missile could hit 60 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds and top out at a mind-bending 240 miles per hour. But here's the kicker. Under that exotic bodywork sat Ford's trusty modular V8, the same basic engine you'd find rumbling under the hood of New York's yellow taxis, police Crown Victorias cruising the highways, and countless F-150 pickup trucks hauling lumber across America. Of course, Koenigsegg didn't just drop in a stock taxi engine and call it a day. They thoroughly massaged Ford's iron block, strapped on twin superchargers, and coaxed out a brutal 654 horsepower. But still, when you're stuck in Manhattan traffic behind a Crown Vic cab crawling at 5 miles per hour, just remember, that same engine architecture once propelled one of the world's fastest cars. Talk about humble beginnings. Number 5, Pagani Zonda and Mercedes S-Class. The Pagani Zonda is automotive art in its purest form. A $1 million masterpiece that looks like it was sculpted by angels and sounds like the devil's own choir. Horacio Pagani's obsession with perfection created one of the most beautiful and brutal supercars ever conceived. But underneath all that carbon fiber artistry beats the heart of a Mercedes-Benz luxury sedan. The AMG-tuned version of Mercedes M120 V12 that powers the Zonda is the same basic engine you'd find in an S600 or CL600 cruising Beverly Hills. Of course, AMG worked their magic to extract anywhere from 550 to over 750 horsepower depending on the Zonda variant, but the fundamental architecture remains unchanged. It's both humbling and hilarious to think that your Uber ride in an S-Class shares its engine DNA with one of the most exclusive hypercars ever built. Number 6, BMW BMW i8 and Mini Cooper. The BMW i8 looked like it arrived from 2030, all swooping lines, butterfly doors, and hybrid wizardry that seemed impossibly futuristic. This plug-in hybrid sports car was BMW's statement piece about the future of performance, combining electric motors with a combustion engine for a total system output of 369 horsepower. The combustion part of that equation? A tiny 1.5-liter 3-cylinder engine that also powers the humble Mini Cooper and BMW's entry-level 2 Series. Yes, this space-age supercar that costs 6 figures shares its petrol engine with cars that barely crack $25,000 new. The irony is delicious. BMW managed to make a 3-cylinder mini engine part of one of the most advanced powertrains ever put in a production car. Number 7. McLaren F1 and BMW 7 Series. The McLaren F1 is the stuff of legends, the fastest production car of the 1990s, Gordon Murray's masterpiece of engineering purity, and quite possibly the greatest driver's car ever created. Its naturally aspirated 6.1-liter V12 produced 618 horsepower and that unforgettable shriek that made grown men weep. This legendary power plant was actually based on BMW's luxury car V12, the same basic engine that powered the 750i executive sedan. BMW Motorsport developed the S70-2 specifically for McLaren, completely reimagining their production engine with different materials, compression ratios, and breathing systems. But the fundamental architecture came from BMW's flagship limousine, proving that sometimes the best performance engines start life as luxury car power plants. Number 8. Bentley Continental GT and Audi RS6. The Bentley Continental GT represents the pinnacle of British luxury grand touring, a handcrafted masterpiece that costs as much as a house and oozes old world sophistication from every pore. Under its elegant hood sits a 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 that produces 542 horsepower and enough torque to move mountains. This same engine, however, powers considerably less posh vehicles within the VW Group empire. You'll find variations of this V8 in the Audi RS6 Avant wagon, the Porsche Panamera, and even some Volkswagen models in other markets. The engine's excellent balance of power and efficiency made it a natural choice across multiple brands, proving that even ultra-luxury manufacturers aren't above sharing the good stuff. Number 9. Smart Fortwo and Mitsubishi Mirage. The Smart Fortwo represents urban mobility in its most concentrated form, a tiny 2-seater designed to slip through city traffic and park in impossibly small spaces. Its diminutive proportions required an equally compact power plant, which Smart found in Mitsubishi's frugal 1-liter 3-cylinder engine. This same little motor also powers the Mitsubishi Mirage, one of the most basic and affordable cars you can buy in America. It's wonderfully appropriate that two vehicles designed for maximum efficiency and minimum fuss share the same practical little engine. Sometimes engineering partnerships produce the most logical results. Number 10. Ariel Atom and Honda Civic Type R. The Ariel Atom is barely a car in the traditional sense, more like a 4-wheeled motorcycle with a roll cage and just enough bodywork to keep the rain off. This ultra-lightweight track weapon weighs less than a ton, but produces enough performance to embarrass supercars costing 10 times as much. Its secret weapon? Honda's legendary K20 engine, the same high-revving 2-liter 4-cylinder that powered the Civic Type R and other Honda performance models. In the Atom's skeletal chassis, this relatively modest engine becomes an absolute weapon, proving that sometimes the best performance formula is simply less weight plus proven reliability. Number 11. Bugatti Veyron and Volkswagen Touareg. The Bugatti Veyron rewrote the hypercar rulebook with its quad-turbo W16 engine, producing over 1,000 horsepower and a top speed exceeding 250 miles per hour. This engineering marvel seemed like pure space-age technology when it debuted. The W16's roots, however, trace back to Volkswagen's VR6 engine architecture, essentially two VR6 engines joined together. While you won't find the exact W16 in any other car, its fundamental DNA comes from engines that powered everything from Golf GTIs to the Touareg SUV. Essentially, the W16 combines two VR8 engines, sharing a common crankshaft and operating as one unit. It's the ultimate example of taking proven technology and scaling it up to absolutely ridiculous proportions. It's fascinating how a single engine design can serve completely different purposes while maintaining its fundamental strengths. Which of these engine-sharing stories surprised you the most, and why do you think manufacturers don't advertise these connections more openly? Let us know in the comments below.